How are you doing today? Good. Okay, who had their Starbies? Okay, I have mine. All right. There should be more people coming, right? Well, we're going to move to the front, okay? I need everybody to the front. Everybody to the front, please. Thank you. Oh. Testing. I was talking into that one, but it's this one.
Did you just turn that on?
I didn't do anything. Yeah. Okay. Is it back? Okay. All right. So we're talking about empowering minds and building resilience and hope for homeless youth. However, to build that for them, we have to build it together in this room today. Are you ready? Raise your hand if you're ready and say yes. Yes. All right. I want to talk really quick about the rule of 5. Does everybody have a pen and paper? Okay, we got to be prepared. If you fail to plan, plan to fail. Let's get that pen and paper out. The rule of 5 is something that I do every day. It's actually what saved my life. My name is Coach Ablaza, and I used to do DoorDash with my kids in the car. Anybody ever did that? Okay, I got somebody back there. DoorDash with my kids in the car, and I had 2 jobs. I did home health care, and I had to wash people up for a living, and it was hard. It was hard. So I had 2 jobs, 2 kids, and $0. I'm from Pomona, California. I went to 9 schools when I was young. So I know how it is to be moving around or have to stay with somebody else. So just know I'm qualified. Okay. So the rule of 5, write that down. Rule of 5. Rule of 5. And number 1 is to pray and meditate, and whatever that means to you. Every day I wake up and say what I'm grateful for. This routine is good for you. This routine is good for the youth. So please take this back with you. I also meditate on my dreams and goals. I might have a relaxing sound, I might not, but I just close my eyes and see what I want for my life, no matter the current situation that I'm in. Number 2 is to read. Read books on the topics that you have to help others with. Read books on stuff that you're struggling with. If you're just struggling with depression, homelessness, anxiety, these are the type of books we want to read to see how we can get over that hump, because somebody else has already made it through, and that means that we can as well. Do you believe that? Yes. You can also read motivational books, inspirational books. Also, you want to go to number 3, and it's listen to audio teachings. The audio teachings can be the same as the reading. Motivation, inspiration. It can be on any situation you're facing. A few of the people that I watch are Eric Thomas. He's one of my mentors. I watch Les Brown. I work hand in hand with Les Brown. I also watch Terry Savelle Foy. Those are a few people that 6 years ago when I was working those 2 jobs, that it helped me. And that 6 years flew by, so we can help you and we can help the youth, and the time will fly. Just know that you can do it and be resilient. All right, number 4 is write and review your dreams and goals. Write and review your dreams and goals. If you're already where you want to be, just write what the next level is. If you're not where you want to be, you want to write and review your dreams and goals every single day. Write your vision, make it plain, and that's what you're going to achieve. A lot of us think that we can't do something. Anybody ever thought, I can't do it? A lot of us use the T word. I don't say the T word. It's T-R-Y, okay? I'm going to let you write it down one more time. But for you and the youth, we're going to release that word from our life. Think about it. Every time you say that word, it doesn't end up happening. Can I get a witness? It doesn't happen? Okay. You're like, girl, I think I'm going to make it. You don't make it. You go to bed, okay? Number 5 is to exercise. Your health is your wealth. There's no money truck behind the hearse. You have to be healthy while you are here. Your health is your wealth. So every day I wake up at 4:30 a.m. and I do this exercise, the rule of 5. My mentor, Les Brown, we were on the phone. He told me, don't practice what you preach, preach what you practice. And that hit home. So everything I'm going to teach about today is what I actually do. I'm not bringing you any fluff. I'm not bringing you something that I don't do. I want you to incorporate this into your life, into the youth life, because you can also do it. Also, I want to take a quick second and ask a couple people what the issues your children are facing. If you can just give me the issue, we're going to talk about it full on later. But I had someone come in early today, about 45 minutes early. Thank you for my early bird. She told me she had 5 suicides in her school, and I just wanted to know, before we get started, what a couple of you are facing, where you're from. Can I get a volunteer?
I'll second her mental health.
Okay.
Whether that be attempted suicide, thoughts of suicide, or just other mental health. And then the second that we're seeing is just the inability to provide basic needs.
Okay.
The loss of parents has been a heavy thing this year. So a lot of students grieving.
Okay.
In addition to like domestic violence.
Okay. Okay.
Our district just lost local funding, so they are eliminating all support services for our kids.
Oh, okay.
Where are you at? We're in Ohio.
Oh.
What is in Harrisburg? Harrisburg, Ohio. We are losing 61 staff members.
Ooh.
They're eliminating all, not counselors, but all the additional layers of support.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. That's deep.
I was going to say sporadic attendance for students.
Sporadic attendance.
But I was going to say that's the loss of the ARP funds. That's across the country.
I wanted to know what funds it was. Was it state or federal or local or?
Local, we didn't pass our levy, and they, part of that levy included the replacement levy, so it was millions of dollars.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we're going to address that.
We're from Lahaina, Maui, so a lot of our families, majority of our families and students are lost their homes, so they're in transition homes and loss of housing.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I got that written down. Thank you for sharing. All right, so our next slide, we're going to go to understanding trauma. Okay, this is me one more time. So I do branding. I'm a creative brand director, graphic designer. I'm also a motivational speaker. I work with Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Stormy Wellington. And yes, overall, I work on mindset, my own mindset every day, but I help youth with mindset as well. I have a nonprofit called Babs Boxing Against Bullying. I live in California. We've had a lot of suicides from bullying. We've had hospital visitations from bullying. And so we teach self-defense and mindset in my nonprofit. All right, so we're going to take 2 minutes. That'll be 9:56. Let's do it till 9:59. Until 9:59, I want you to take 2 minutes to introduce yourself to your neighbor, please. If you don't have a neighbor, scoot over a little bit or move to the front. Okay. Testing. The lavalier is off. The lavalier is off.
I have to duck it if you're using the podium.
Okay.
Because if they both come through at the same time, we get wah, wah, wah.
Right. So,
So
thank
whatever
God we got
you're
this break.
Whatever you're closest to, I'm kind of monitoring. And if you step away, then I'll
Oh, you're good. Okay.
change the levels.
So I can walk around the whole room though.
Yes, you should be able to.
Yes. Okay. I don't like staying in one spot.
I understand.
I'm like, I want to ask him.
Same way.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Testing. Hi, good morning. How are you? Where you guys from?
Colorado.
Okay. Oh, everybody. Okay. I'm doing well. Thank you for sitting in the front. Hi. I'll say good morning to my soror.
Hi.
Oops, sorry. Doing well. How you doing?
So happy to be here. There's been so many sorors
Yeah.
speaking
Yeah. Hold on, we gotta get a big. We gotta get a big. Okay. Okay, we have one more minute. Good morning. Oh, okay, so okay, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all was at the door. Okay, we all need to get it. Okay, hold on.
They still coming.
Yeah, okay, okay. Okay, we got 1 minute left. Okay, perfect. All right, all right, all right. It is 9:59. 9:59. Okay, I need a couple people. What did you learn about your neighbor? Let me get a volunteer, please. Okay, wait, who was that? Sorry. Oh, go ahead.
We wear lots of hats.
Okay, I wear a lot of hats too. Okay, what's one of your hats?
McKinney Venture Liaison.
Okay, okay.
I met Miss Susan, who does part-time tutoring for the homeless school.
Okay, nice, nice. I want you guys to make sure that you get your partner's information by the end of the session, okay? All right, next. The statistics are that there are 4.2 million youth. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. 4.2 million youth and young adults experience homelessness in the U.S. each year. That is quite a lot. And I want to just break that down really quick. But in the United States right now, and especially in California, we have rent increasing, but we don't have wages increasing. You have to make 3 times the rent, which is $10,000. We live in a society that does that and respectfully does not care, because how do you get into a home, especially if your credit is bad and you're making minimum wage? How do you live? How do you survive? That's why building resilience is important, because you have to elevate your life. It's not fair, but that is what we have to do. We have to be resilient through these times. There's no reason to be stressed. There's no reason to have anxiety, and the reason is because anxiety is fear. It's false evidence appearing real. And there might be some things that get us down, but you have to build up your resilience in your heart and tell yourself, if I can change something, I'm going to change it. If I cannot, I'm going to change my attitude, but I'm going to make it through it regardless. Have you made it through the past situations that you've been through? Yes. And the youth will make it through as well. 1 in 10 young adults aged 18 to 25 and 1 in 30 youth aged 13 to 17 experience homelessness annually. 50% of homeless youth report being unsheltered. And, you know, I'm next to Skid Row, so I've seen it, and it is really depressing. So hopefully what we talk about today, you can take it back and we can help and build. And also personally, like I have a nonprofit. These are things that we can build as well in our neighborhoods, or if we can partner with NACI and see how to do that and help more youth. Key challenges: trauma and instability, frequent moves, exposure to violence, loss of family and connections. How do we help them while they're going through this? Can somebody tell me how they help, where they're located, and where you work with the youth? Anybody?
We provide, of course, like the transportation and everything along with McKinney Bento. But we also have hygiene bags. We do food bags every Friday for students to get their families signed up or them signed up. And then I work in a high school, so right now we're working on making sure students that are unaccompanied have like their ID, birth certificate, social security, because some parents withhold that information.
Okay.
They go off to school or when they graduate, they have that.
Okay.
And I'm in Rowan County, North Carolina.
Let me get the microphone because I want to make sure Zoom can hear your responses. 1 second. Can I get that microphone?
You want to switch off?
Yeah.
Turn the
Okay.
green light off,
Okay. Thank you.
and you should be good to go.
Testing.
Coming up.
Testing. Okay. Okay. My next person, right there. Okay.
We do assessments with with our students to determine the needs that they have because they're individual to every single student, and then we use a system called IRIS, so it's an integrated referral and intake system. So I was just describing to Carrie behind me that it's like an electronic social service guide, so we can get in there and then we can refer students out to all of those key providers because we can't be the resource for everything, but we can be the connector to the resource.
I love that. Did y'all write that down? Okay, because not everybody's not on the same program. Not everybody thinks the same. So there's things that where do you?
I'm from RE 26.
Okay. Okay, in Illinois. Your organization might not be doing the same things as her and vice versa. So make sure you write these things down. What I want to tell you is a lot of people, they don't have purpose. So some people, they're helping the youth because it is their job. But we need this to be your purpose, or you shouldn't be doing it, right? Your purpose is to do what you love to do by helping others. You have to love helping the youth. And so if you have coworkers like this, we got to help them too. Encourage them like, hey, this is just not a piece of paper going across your desk. We have to help this individual as if they were our family member with care. Another challenge is lack of support systems, limited access to education, health care, and social services. So these are the things that we have to help them with. Next is emotional and behavioral health needs, high rates of depression, anxiety, and PTSD. In America, and I'm not from anywhere else, so I can only attest to where I'm located, depression, anxiety have been prevalent. Can anybody attest to that? They have been very prevalent. And I've talked to people that I know, and they've said, oh, well, my son has anxiety. And the son is like 3 or 4 years old. Right. And so what I want to tell you is that we have to change the narrative. Please write this down. We have to change the narrative, and we have to change the words that we use. Every word is either a flower or a brick. Whether that's with the youth, that's with you, that's the people around you, you have to pay attention to how you're treating others. It is a flower or it is a brick. Sometimes we're in a position for so long that we're just used to doing it. And we're like, okay, next. But feed life and feed energy into the youth and into yourself. All right, understanding trauma and its impact. Let's talk about trauma. Sometimes life throws tough situations our way that we cannot control. Is that you? I know I've dealt with it as well. For many of us, these experiences can feel overwhelming and leave us feeling like we're stuck. So for a lot of the youth, they're feeling that they're stuck. So I want to ask a question. Do you deal with youth? The first question is, do you deal with youth that have parents or don't have parents? If they have parents, raise your hand. Okay, so it's just a mixture. Okay, gotcha. All right, so how can we help with this trauma? Can somebody tell me how they help the youth with the trauma when they come to you?
Creating space. Just by creating space, one, for them to even like share that trauma, or like if they need to cry, just go ahead and cry, or vent.
That is good. Now that is good because when somebody asks you how you're doing, like maybe even today somebody asks you, what do you say? I'm good. Okay? So when the youth come, you want to dig deep. No, how are you really feeling? A lot of people, they hide their emotions, and somebody might have told them, boys don't cry. Anybody ever heard that statement, boys don't cry? Write this down. Take off the generalizations. Everybody has emotions, right? Or sometimes, oh, you're a crybaby. I want you to start paying attention to the things that you hear all the time. These things are what hold us back in life. Have you ever heard, it's always something? Not again. These are the things that we have to get out of our verbiage to move on and to help others. I had another hand. Who was it? Okay.
Oh, I was saying relationship building.
Okay, let me.
Relationship building.
Okay, relationship building. Yes, building relationships with the youth. Can anybody tell me how long do you work with the youth that you work with?
I've been in my role for 4 years.
Okay, and like specifically, you deal with the youth for a month, a year, years?
So I'm in a school setting.
Okay,
I have
school,
them
okay.
each school year, and then some of my students I've had for the last 4 years.
Okay,
But I work with them until they graduate, and then I have a relationship with some students post-graduation.
okay, and then what's your title?
Student support specialist, so high
Oh.
school social worker.
Okay, that's nice. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. Okay, I love that. So we got to remember, whether it's for a day, a month, years, to be that advocate for the youth. How might you feel when going through trauma? You feel anxious, down, or hopeless. But did you know that just a smile or even just building them up during this can help them? It's important to know there are ways to work through it. And so this is going to be very interactive. I don't know if y'all already thought that. But if you sit here and listen to me, kind of boring. But if you listen to your colleagues or your neighbors, it's going to be better. So I want someone to tell me how they work through already when someone is anxious, when a youth is anxious when they're working with them. Can anybody give me their theory on how they do it? Okay. Okay, wait, I got the same volunteers. I'm going to pick somebody now. Wait a minute.
I'm just going to go back to what the lady in front of me said, is building relationships and finding a way to connect with that student. So maybe it's through coloring or, another habit that they enjoy, but finding something that they like to talk about. Because when we're thinking about other things, we're not thinking about the anxiety.
That was good. Did y'all write that one down? 1 second.
Hi. I would say listening and empowering them, because you can listen, but then also giving them strategies and resources and helping them to be able to do things on their own. Because in the end, we want to make them independent so that they can continue to grow, themselves. So I would say listen to them, but also what can we give them or teach them to do so that they can continue to grow.
Did you guys write that one down? Make sure you wrote that down. That was phenomenal. So I have 3 kids myself, 14, 6, and 2. Okay? Bless me. So the 6-year-old, she's active. Okay? That's a good word for her. She's extremely active. She likes to draw. She likes to do makeup. And then she likes to do math. So I like those answers because you have to know how to connect. Write that down. Connect. How to connect with them. You might not like to draw, but that child does indeed maybe like to draw, dance, do makeup. See how you connect with them. See how you can get them resources on things that they love to do. And let me break it down like this. Most times in the U.S. or in society, they tell you to do a certain thing. Graduate high school. And just give me a nod if you graduate high school. Buy a home, right, debt. Get kids, 24/7 job, okay? Get a car, debt. There's a lot of things that we're doing and we're going into debt, and most of us wake up, and not you guys, but most of us in the world wake up, and we wake up to doing stuff we don't love to do. And that's why it's important that when they're going through this situation that we figure out what they love to do, because that can be a beacon of light in their life, okay? All right. Some of us may react by feeling angry, withdrawing from others, or even picking up harmful habits. So I'm sure some of you have dealt with different behaviors, sporadic behaviors. Raise your hand if you've had some youth that are just angry. And they're angry because of where they're at in life. Not that it's their fault, but they're angry. And so it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You ate your lunch, you're a little tired. And then you get somebody angry, and some of us will mirror that anger. But today I want you to write down, rise above. Rise above. You have to lead by example and help the youth let go of that anger, let go of that anxiety, let go of that trauma. And it takes time. So I want to ask a question really quick. Do most of your organizations have like a therapist for the youth? Okay, that's perfect. So we have to learn how to pick it up as soon as possible that, okay, maybe we need to go a step further. A lot of people in this world, they need therapy that they never get, that could have changed their lives. Most of us work 40 hours a week, but don't work on our mindset, even a minute. And it's all a distraction. So we have to get out of that. Trauma can also affect how you do in school or your relationships with others. Kids will have low grades, and we won't realize, oh, wait, they're going through something. How can we get them the resource to help? And that is our job as an advocate. Okay? Did you know that 78% of homeless youth have gone through at least one serious traumatic experience? If you're feeling this way, you are not alone. What can help? What helped me was doing the rule of 5. And I know you're going to be like, wow, rule of 5 again? Yes, it helped me. I was overweight. I stayed over 200 pounds, lose the weight, gain it again. I was broke, depressed, anxious. I had an attitude with my family, and I had gone through molestation, trauma in my past, and that's where I was at. And I never worked on my mindset. I don't remember if someone introduced mindset to me, but I know that it did change my life. I know that I have my children work on their mindset every day because I realize that's something that we need to do. So mindset is the key factor. And so I don't know how that looks in the workplace, but however you can find a way to implement it, that's what we will do. Emotional support. Let them know that it's okay to ask for help. There are people who care and are trained to support you. Let them know, hey, this is my job. Just break it down a little bit further for them. Safe spaces. Being in a safe and caring environment can help you begin to heal. Rome wasn't built in a day, and we cannot break these traumas in a day. But we can help the kids as we move along with them. Peer support. Connecting with others who have been through similar things can help you feel understood. How many of your organizations have events for the youth? Okay, so we have a few hands come up. If there's a way for you to ask the staff or boss, whoever it may be, can we have an event to work on mindset? Can we bring in a speaker to work on mindset, to work on trauma, work on anxiety? Because we hear the word anxiety, we know the feeling, but does anybody know how to work through it? Do the youth know how to work through that? Because it's being normalized, but it's not being told, hey, you don't have to have anxiety. We can work on it. We can make sure that you don't feel like that all the time. Okay, so we have our first activity. I want you to go through these activities so that you can take them home with you. Let's take a moment to understand our emotions better. What we're doing, I'm not passing out cards, my apologies. If you can write this down, I'm sorry, take a picture of it. So what you'll do is pass out cards with different emotions or feelings on them. Think about a challenge you faced and pick out the emotions that describe how it made you feel. If you can't have an event, this is a good resource that you can use with the children. Because sometimes, like I said, ask them how you feel, go deeper. Sometimes they still don't want to talk, but this is a different way to connect with the children. While you're doing it, once we recognize how we feel, we can start to understand what triggers those emotions. Something triggers your emotions. It could be a certain smell, a certain dish, a certain picture. I know a picture triggers my emotions at times from when I was a child. Understanding helps us manage our feelings better. Afterwards, you'll talk to them and understand how their emotions can help you feel more in control. Does anybody wake up groggy? I do. Don't play. Before I had the Starbies today, you know. Every day when I wake up like that. So if you don't, let me know how you're doing it. However, I work on my mindset as soon as I open my eyes, okay? I say what I'm grateful for as soon as I open my eyes and start my day right. I spoke to a group of children in Ohio. I heard somebody was from Ohio. I went to college in Ohio, West Carrollton High School. And I said, what do you do when you wake up? I brush my teeth, I wash my face, get dressed, go to school. How can you have a positive day or a good day going into the world and dealing with people that are negative or just dealing with people that maybe don't care about you and you started your day by not doing anything really. And so halfway through the day, you're depressed. You're like, why am I always depressed? And that's because we did not start our day right. So make sure you do something other than just washing your face. Washing your face is good. We love a good self-care, but we got to start our day right. All right, building resilience. What is resilience? I need a volunteer. What is resilience? I know it's on the board, but I need somebody's definition of it. Can I get you?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Someone said yesterday in a session I was in is being able to bounce back, but also be able to bounce forward, and so I like that. But just the ability to regroup.
The ability to regroup, and I want you to write this down. We're never gonna have another bad day. Time is a resource that we cannot buy. Time is a resource that we cannot get back, so we cannot waste a second of it. Another thing that you've heard in society is that I'm having a bad day. We need to change that to a bad 5 minutes, and we need to incorporate that into the youth as well. I'm having a bad day. Let me tell you something. Time is something that you cannot get back. We need you to take a minute to regroup. Make sure that you're not letting others bring you down. A lot of people are unhappy with themselves. That's why kids bully other kids. And you have to know that everything is going to be okay, and don't take a whole bad day. Some people have bad months. I have a brother, he's the opposite of me, 7 years younger than me, and he's had a bad year. And he doesn't wake up. I call him like, hey, you up? How you doing? I'm still asleep. He sleeps the whole day. So this right here is very important for youth because it started for him when he was younger than he is now. So he needs to build some resilience, and I'm working on it, y'all. Okay. So resilience is the ability to bounce back even when things are tough. It doesn't mean life is easy, but it means keep moving forward no matter what. Life is hard, but you have to choose your hard. Let them know. Write that down. You have to choose your hard. Being homeless is hard. Losing your parents is hard. But you can be resilient. You can elevate. You can do better. At the end of the day, it is you versus you. How can you build your mind to have a better life? We can't let the things or circumstances around us make us not have a better life for ourselves. Here are some ways to build resilience. Write this down. Know your emotions. When you understand how you feel, it's easier to figure out how to deal with those feelings. And so some of this stuff is going to keep repeating, but me, I'm a learner that has to keep hearing the same thing. And then that's when I get it. Practice self-regulation. This means finding ways to calm yourself when things feel overwhelming. Deep breathing or taking a moment can help. I told you a few minutes ago, I used to have anger at the drop of a dime before I focused on my mindset. And I would let anybody or anything control that. You have to let your students, you have to let the youth know you control your own emotions, and let them know that over and over again. Next, stay positive. Setting small goals for yourself so you can see your progress even in difficult times. A lot of us in life would be like, well, I want a nice car, I want a house. But there are micro goals that come with that. So for the youth that are homeless, start writing down what you want out of life. I believe in manifestation, I think y'all can tell. But you have to speak life over your life. And then, hopefully what the youth learn from us here today will take that back to their parents as well. Because a lot of parents are lost as well. They don't know how to navigate life. They don't know how to navigate their emotions. So if you want to write this down, that's another event that maybe the parents and the youth can attend if your organization is able to do that. Why does this matter? Studies show that resilience helps you overcome trauma and feel better equipped to handle challenges. Building resilience in your students, in your youth, it can help with that suicide. Talking to them about their emotions can help with that as well. Sometimes They don't have anybody to talk to. Looking at you in this room, I'm like, this is a good looking bunch. And I would think, they're not going through anything. But there's a lot of us in here that are. When you look at the youth, you know that they're homeless, but what else are they going through? Have they been molested? Have they been hit? Are they in a domestic violence situation somehow? We cannot judge a book by its cover. Yes. Okay.
So I just want to bounce off that because it's a great point. I had a session the other day that I went to here, and one of the biggest battles we have in our school is kids wearing hoodies and they have their hood up. And it's like teachers are writing referrals, they're writing discipline notes, everything, saying they won't put their hood down, they won't put their hood down, they won't put their hood down. And it's something that in my classroom I've never really dinged them for. The guy that was talking the other day said that he was molested as a child, and having his hood up in school was his safety net. It made him feel good. It made him feel protected and safe. So I think that's another thing is like when you're talking about, you know, we don't know what else is going on all the time. Like, don't let the little things steer you off track. Like, if the kid wants to wear a hood because that makes them feel safe for the day, let them wear the hood.
Yes, thank you for sharing that.
And I was just going to share another resource in building resiliency. If you all haven't read the book, The High Five Habit by Mel Robbins, I would strongly encourage you read it. So that book really talks about waking up every morning and high-fiving yourself in the mirror and having positive talk to yourself. It makes you think about, we spend all this time talking to others and empowering them, but then what is our internal message telling ourselves? We're just like, I'm not pretty enough, my hair's, messy today, like, I look a hot mess. Like, I say that all the time, right? And so it just talks about, like, if we practice speaking to ourselves the way that we speak to others, then we can change our mindset.
Did you guys write that down? I hope so. We know the drill. I love that. So what I heard first was think outside of the box. Some kids, they may not follow the rules if you're at a school or if you're in an organization. And immediately you think about rule number 255, they cannot wear a hood. Okay? Take a second to talk to them and see how they're doing, see how they're feeling, to see why they're doing that. Right? And then you said it's the High Five book by Mel Robbins?
The High Five Habit.
The High Five Habits. Write that down. Sound like the rule of five. We're on the right track. What'd you say?
Other ones too. She has one called the Let Them Theory, which is just new coming out. Like, let them think these things about you. Let them have their opinions.
Yes.
I'm eager to read that one. I haven't. But then she also has one called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's really great.
The Let Them Theory. I saw her video the other day. Let them. That was good. Okay. All right. Mel Robbins, M-E-L, last name R-O-B-B-I-N-S. Yes, you're welcome. I love Mel Robbins. Let's practice building resilience together, okay? So we don't have sticky notes, but I know you have a phone and I know you have a notes app. And if you need help finding it, I will help you. So we're going to break out into groups. Let's see. I'm going to have about 8 groups. So I'll have the first group. If you guys can come together here in the front, and then from here, if you guys can move up or if you guys can move back for me, if that's possible. Okay. So that's for group 1 and group 2. Group 3 is going to be right here. If you two right here, if you can move up for me, please. And then if you two can move back to here, this will be group 4. I think maybe we'll just do 6. That should work. So we're just splitting into 2 sections. All right. And then if I can have you two ladies come back here for this group.